Hey everybody, it's Kai here from the Techno Funk Boy. So we just finished up some great music, and I went digging back into the box of SNES stuff, and I was in particular looking for some Secret of Evermore stuff because my friend Nate said that he really liked the game, and I kind of wanted to show off some of the stuff that I had kept. I also was looking at it and was like, I don't actually remember this game well enough to know what this stuff is. And so I need I need y'all's help on this. This is a game that's on my list to replay because I enjoyed it, but I also don't remember much of it. I remember a lot of it, but not much of it. If that makes sense. So there's actually two poster fold out inserts of it, and the poster parts are the parts that like I'm a little bit fuzzy on. So this is the one that I like less, just because this seems to be just kind of random artifacts from the game, and it's one of those things that's just very clearly a game thing. I don't I do not have memory of these things appearing in the game, and so this is a place where if y'all know what these are, that would actually be really really cool. Because like I said, I do want to replay this game, but it's neat to have this stuff, but it'd be neater still to know what I'm looking at. The back of this one is actually my favorite part of all of this. It's this map. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. So, like, so much of the maps in SNES games and I love all of them, and they're all really cool, but they look like computer game maps. I mean, even like the one from Final Fantasy III, the SNES, Final Fantasy VI, it looked like a game map. You know, this is really really well done, and it's part of the nature of the game that it's an action RPG, kind of in the Secret of Evermore type of style, and so having having a perfectly laid out map is not really that important. You go into sections of the game, and that section is contained, and it's usually like a rectangle or square. And so maps like this in that sort of game aren't the most critical things ever, but I just love the detail they put into this, and even the is there a way to do this where it's not shining on there? There it is. Okay, so even the legends on here are kind of in a handwritten font, so it looks like kind of explorer making notes and putting numbers on the overhead on something he drew from the airplane or something, something silly like that. But I really love that. It makes this particular map very very distinct, and I do like that. So the other one is a very very cool, looks like a stained glass window. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this window appears in the game, or if this is just a very very cool poster depiction of stuff. Um, and I, wow, it's like this is one that sparks the imagination, and this is what I really love about this poster. This this makes me want to play the game. The other one with the little medallion and the stone carving, not really, but this does. Okay, so it's you have these two very distinct castles here, with a chessboard in between them, and it really harkens back to kind of like an Alice's Adventures in Wonderland type of a thing. You have a dragon down here as well, which is always fun in fantasy games. But that's not that's not what sparks the imagination. It's like this stuff here that makes me want to go, wait, what's going on there? That looks interesting. It looks otherworldly. It looks very very cool, and so that this is the kind of stuff that I would really really hang on the wall. So on the back of here, and I'm glad I found this because it was an order form like this one, very much like this one, that caused that I bought my very first video game soundtrack from. And it was the Final Fantasy 3, we now did 6, soundtrack from this thing in the Final Fantasy 3 box. And so I ordered it. Like here, you can order the game, but it doesn't have that particular soundtrack. Like all five of these games that feature, I have all these. These are great. All of them are great games. Secret of Mana, Breath of Fire, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, and Chrono Trigger. That this is the stuff that I just love. Oh, you know what? The Final Fantasy 3 soundtrack is on there. I barely noticed it. I'm not even sure that we can really get close enough to see it. But Kefka's Domain right there. But you can also get the Secret of Evermore soundtrack, which is one that I actually don't have. I have a lot of soundtracks from that era, but I don't have that one. Man, talk about like a deep cut. Having an SOE hat. I gotta say, Squaresoft. I think with that one, you're thinking this brand is going to take off more than it did. That even play like if before I saw this again, if I walked down the street and someone was wearing that, I've played the game and I wouldn't have the foggiest clue what that was. We have a shirt with that same kind of stone carving as was on this other insert, which makes me think that this has got to be a part of the game. I really wish I remembered this game better. This is something that's really got to climb on my list of games that are to replay like soon. Especially finding this stuff is it really like looking at this stuff. It's like it just makes me want to play the games all the more. And so hopefully I'll be able to jump on that in the relative near future. I don't remember it being a ridiculously long game, and so I'm gonna have to check that out soon. And of course, if I am able to jump on it, I'll report that on the Retro Zoo show. Really do appreciate you checking in with me today. We're gonna keep going through some of this stuff and some of the other stuff that it's tougher to do on the podcast because I like to show. I like to see this stuff. I love it when people post pictures of their carts and their stuff in Facebook and in Discord, because it's very neat to see all this great old the stuff that came with the great old games, the games themselves. It's always a great pleasure. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you soon.